Good morning students. Today we are going to learn about interpreting data from line graph and pie graph. This is called as line graph. Instead of representing the data in bars, rectangular bars, here a point is there and the points are connected by lines. So this is called as line graph. Instead of representing the data in rectangular bar, points are kept and the points are connected through lines. So this is called as line graph and this is called as pie graph. In pie graph, this part represents 1/8 and this part represents 1/8. This is a quadrant, so it represents 1/4 and this is half of the circle, so it is half. This represents 1/8 of the part and this also represents 1/8 of the part. This represents quadrant and this represents half. Here in half we are having two quadrants. If we draw a line here, we are having two quadrants in a half and 1/8 part. See here, this is also a quadrant. In quadrant, we are having two 1/8 part. So, in 1/2, we are having 1/8 part. With this also, we are going to interpret the data. Let this pie chart represent customers and the dish ordered by them. By looking into the pie graph, we can say that many customers ordered aloo paratha because this occupies more space. So, many customers ordered aloo paratha. Next to aloo paratha, many customers have ordered puri. Next to puri, we are having idli and dosa. Customers are ordering aloo paratha more while comparing to puri, dosa and idli. From this pie graph, we can get this information. Now we are going to solve exercise 11.2. The first problem is in page number 65. Take page number 65 in your book. Now we are going to solve exercise 11.2. The first problem is Atul records the average monthly temperature of a place for the year 2018 and represents the data with the help of a line graph. Study the graph and answer the questions that follow. A list of questions is given. We are going to look at the graph and answer to the questions. First question is, which month experienced the highest average temperature? Here all these are months: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. Here it is temperature. First question is, which month experienced the highest average temperature? The highest average temperature is here. It is 45 and it is in the month of June. It is in the month of June. This is the highest. So, look which month it belongs to. It is June month. So, the answer is June. Next one. Which two months experienced the same average temperature? See here, these two are with the same temperature. Here and here. Look at the month. Here it is May and here it is August. So it is May and August. May and August have the same average temperature. Their temperature is 40. Both May and August are having same temperature, that is 40. Next, the average temperature in the month of September was higher than in April. Is the statement true or false? The statement it is given as the temperature in the month of September was higher than that in April. We have to compare September and April. Here is September. This is September, and another one to be compared is April. September is higher than April. It is a given question. We have to say whether the statement is true or false. See here. September is higher than April. So the statement is true. What change can you see in the average monthly temperature from February to May? From February to May, we have to look at the temperature from February to May. We can say that the temperature is increasing from February to May. The next question is, what is the difference between the highest and the lowest average monthly temperature? We have to find the difference between highest temperature and lowest temperature. The highest temperature here is 45. The lowest temperature is 15. So we have to find the difference. 5 minus 5 is 0, 4 minus 1 is 3. So the difference between the highest and the lowest monthly temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. The next question is, the table shows the favorite sports of 80 students of grade 5. Calculate the fractions representing the number of students who like different sports and write the names of the sports in the correct sections on the circle chart. Also, give a title to the circle chart. Chart is given. In the chart, sports and number of students is given. For badminton it is 20, for hockey it is 10, for cricket it is 50. What should we do is, write the names of the sport in the correct sections of the circle chart. In the circle chart, we have to write the name of the sports. Here, the chart given is badminton 20, hockey 10 and cricket 50. The highest is cricket. So, the larger part should be occupied by cricket. Look at the table. In that, look at the number of students. It is 20, 10 and 50. So, 50 is with the greater value. 50 belongs to cricket. So, in the circle, major part should be occupied by cricket. Next, compare 20 and 10. 20 is greater. So, 20 belongs to badminton. So, next larger part is here. So, here we should write badminton. Next, this is only the leftover part, and that should be occupied by hockey. The major sport the students play is cricket. Next, it is badminton, and next it is hockey. Depending upon the value, we have to write the answers in the circle. The major part should be occupied by the major number. Here 50 is the largest given number. 50 is cricket. So, the larger part of the circle should be occupied by cricket, and the next larger part by badminton, and the next larger part by hockey. And next, also give a title to the circle chart. I am going to give the title as favorite sport. Because this chart represents favorite sports of the students. 50 students' favorite sport is cricket, next it is badminton, and next it is hockey. So, this is the answer. Next, look at the fifth question. Last year, approximately 40 lakh tourists visited India. Read this circle chart and answer the questions. You look at the chart given in your book. It is in page number 67. How many tourists came to India from Africa? We have to find how many tourists came to India from Africa. You look at the pie graph given. Africa is 1/4 of the circle. A quadrant is filled by Africa. So, it is 1/4. You look at the pie graph in your book. Africa is occupied by 1/4 of the circle. So, Africa is 1/4. We have to find how many tourists came to India from Africa. Tourists came to India from Africa. It is 1/4. By looking into the picture, we can say it is 1/4. With that, we have to multiply 40 lakhs because in the pie graph, the whole circle represents 40 lakhs. From 40 lakhs, we have to find 1/4 of 40 lakhs. We have to find 1/4 of the 40 lakhs because Africa is 1/4 of the given circle. The whole circle represents 40 lakhs. So, we have to find 1/4 of 40 lakhs. So, multiply 1/4 with 40 lakhs. Now, cancel. 1 4 is 4, 10 4s are 40. And next, write the remaining zeros as it is. So, it is 10 lakhs. So, the answer is 10 lakhs. Next, how many tourists came from North India and Europe? Tourists came from North America. North America and Europe it is more than 1/2. It is more than 1/2 of the pie graph. This part is North America and Europe. This is remaining continents and this is Africa. See, North America and Europe is more than a half. In a half, we are having 8 parts, and here we are having another 1 by 8 part. So, totally here we are having 5 by 8 parts. See here, in a quadrant we are having 2 1 by 8. In a quadrant we are having 2 1 by 8. In this quadrant there are 2 1 by 8, and in this quadrant there are 2 1 by 8, and here there is 1 1 by 8. So, 1 2 3 4 5. Totally there are 5 by 8 parts. So, 5 by 8 into 40 lakhs. Now cancel. 1 8 is 8, 5 8s are 40. 5 into 5 lakhs is 25 lakhs. So, 25 lakhs is the answer. Cancel. 1 8 is 8, 5 8s are 40. Next, write the remaining zeros as it is. 5 lakhs into 5 is 25 lakhs. So, 25 lakhs is the answer. Next, how many tourists came from Africa and the remaining continents? We have already found tourists came to India from Africa. Now, we are going to find tourists came from remaining continents. Look at the pie graph. Remaining continents is 1 by 8 of the circle. So, with 1 by 8 we have to multiply 40 lakhs. 1 8 is 8, 5 8s are 40. Next, write the remaining zeros as it is. So, it is 5 lakhs. 1 into 5 lakhs is 5 lakhs. We should find how many tourists came from Africa and remaining continents. Tourists came from Africa and remaining continents. From Africa, we are having 10 lakhs. From remaining continents, we are having 5 lakhs. So, 10 lakhs plus 5 lakhs is 15 lakhs. So, 15 lakhs is the answer. How many tourists came from Africa and the remaining continents? We have to find the tourists came from Africa. Already we have found that. Next, we have to find the tourists came from remaining continents. It is 5 lakhs. So, tourists came from Africa and remaining continents means we have to add 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs. So, it is 15 lakhs. The next question is, what is the difference between the numbers of tourists from Africa and from North America and Europe? We have to find the difference between tourists from Africa and from North America and Europe. We have to find the difference between these two. Difference between the number of tourists from Africa and from North America and Europe. We have to find the difference between number of tourists from Africa and from North America and Europe. We have to find the difference. So, we have to subtract 25 lakhs and 10 lakhs. 25 lakhs minus 10 lakhs is 15 lakhs. So, the answer is 15 lakhs. Difference means we have to subtract. We have to subtract 10 lakhs from 25 lakhs. So, the answer is 15 lakhs. In today's class, we have solved the problems in exercise 11.2. The remaining problems will be homework for you. Thank you, students.